Get ready to become the best security guard with all the hidden details and Easter eggs at the Five Nights at Freddy's movie and its master course in security of pizzerias with killer robots hide. Here you have 25 secrets of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. The codename used for the movie during filming was Bad Cupcake, as shared by the production company Blumhouse when recording began. In this image, you can see that the first scene shot was at Sparky's Cafe, where Jane, alongside the nanny Max and Jeff, planned how to sabotage Mike. Interestingly, the first actor to appear in an official movie image was Doug, Jane's lawyer, who was quite out of place. It was right in front of you the whole time and you probably didn't even notice, but Steve Raglan's identity as the Yellow Rabbit can be guessed from clues at the beginning of the movie. See, if you look at his desk, you can see he has a rabbit's foot on his keychain. The name Steve Raglan is also an anagram of everlasting, a reference to William Afton always coming back and never dying.
I always come back.
The office chairs are the same color as the Yellow Rabbit, and William's tie is purple, nodding to his alter ego in the video games where he's known as the Purple Man. Emma Tammy, the director of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, revealed in an interview with IGN that during filming, Foxy's arm accidentally caught fire. There was one day where we were rolling and I heard someone quietly and calmly say, "Foxy's arm is on fire?" We put it out and switched out the arm. Apparently, the servo motor responsible for moving one of Foxy's arms overheated, causing a small fire that fortunately turned into a funny anecdote rather than a total meltdown. But really, quite fitting for Foxy anyway. And in case you were wondering what Foxy's legs looked like before they were destroyed, here you can see them very red and furry. But for real commotion, the havoc caused by Five Nights at Freddy's fans in the cinema. Some ran out with movie posters after the screening. Others fought during the credits while arguing about the plot. This was later revealed to be organized, but the video still went viral. Maybe you thought the movie was amazing, or maybe you thought it was a piece of garbage, but what will surely surprise you regardless is that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie script had 15 different versions and 8 different directors. And that's not all. Scott Cawthon, the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, revealed on Reddit the plot of some of those discarded scripts. In Script F, some kids break into the abandoned pizzeria and find a basement factory of government-controlled robots. The problem is that it was a bit too strange. Result, discarded. For the Toys Attack Manhattan script, basically FNAF toys attacked Manhattan. The problem is that the toys would have to attack Manhattan. Result, burned. For one called the Random Charlie script, Charlie sneaks into the pizzeria to retrieve a lost toy. Now, this had nothing to do with the games, and the result was discarded. There were also more game-related scripts, with some focusing on telling the story of Cassidy and other animatronics like Funtime ones. As a curiosity, the script that came out as the winner was called the Mike script, which basically consisted of telling the story of this character. And that's how the first Five Nights at Freddy's movie was born. Now warning, this is very creepy, but if you play the Five Nights at Freddy's teaser trailer slowly and in reverse, you can hear the phrase "Afton killed me" just when the ghost children appear. A clue that William Afton was responsible for the murder of the missing children in the pizzeria. The Sparky's restaurant is inspired by the animatronic Sparky created by fans in the first Five Nights at Freddy's video game. In fact, you can see it in the scene where Mike escapes the death trap. The thing is that the waiter at Sparky's is played by MatPat, a YouTuber known for his videos of theories related to the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. His name is Ness, and this is no coincidence. Scott Cawthon deliberately chose this Nintendo character to pay tribute to one of his most controversial theories, where he claimed that Ness from Earthbound is actually Sans from Undertale. During the time where the script for Five Nights at Freddy's was a total mess and was passing through the hands of numerous directors and producers, some companies jumped the gun and released their own versions of the movie. The first was the Banana Splits movie, a horror parody where the characters of the Banana Split show become murderers. They aren't animatronics, but they bear a resemblance for sure. The second one is even more similar to Five Nights at Freddy's and stars Nicolas Cage. The movie's called Willy's Wonderland, and the protagonist is forced to be a security guard of an abandoned family restaurant with murderous animatronics inside. Ring a bell yet? The movie is much bloodier, but it definitely took clear inspiration from the Freddy universe. After the spring snapped, Freddy and the rest of the animatronics dragged the badly injured yellow rabbit deep inside the pizzeria. This scene was inspired by the graphic novel The Silver Eyes of Five Nights at Freddy's, where one of the protagonists triggers the springs in the yellow rabbit's suit, killing Afton. Right after that, the four animatronics appear to take the body to the depths of the restaurant. But it's not all about dead children and diabolical robots. The film crew of Five Nights at Freddy's approached their work with a great sense of humor. After some recordings, they would blast music and dance alongside the animatronics. Honestly, that would make anyone want to visit the restaurant. One night, while Mike is sleeping in the pizzeria, a power failure wakes him up, forcing him to reset the electricity. During this time, the words "It's me"
Hello, it's me.
appear written on one of the mirrors. This is a reference to the messages that appeared with Golden Freddy in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2. It's believed that the spirit of the child possessing Golden Freddy is the only one remaining conscious. This is shown in Mike's dreams too, where the other children's faces are blurred as if they forgot who they were when alive, while Golden Freddy, consumed by hatred and rage, remains conscious until his revenge is fulfilled. In the pizzeria's repair room, remains of other animatronics can also be seen. These parts don't belong to any particular animatronic, but are from a few created in 2015 by Jim Henson's Creature Shop, known for making the puppets for Sesame Street. These remains were leaked as possible animatronics for the movie, and although later denied, they were placed in the workshop as a fun little Easter egg. Mike's house in the movie contains elements that can be related to Mike's house in the video game Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. The most obvious is the clock, which has a design very similar to the game's. Then there's the armchair, the lamp, and the TV in the living room, which are quite similar as well. Lastly, there's Golden Freddy attacking Jane while she's watching TV, paralleling Mike watching TV and being attacked by Ennard. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place started in 1979, so it's not surprising to see lots of arcade machines from the 80s and 90s. These include a centipede game, where you have to kill a giant centipede while shooting. There's also asteroids, basically the same but destroying asteroids, pinball machines, among which King Cool from 72 stands out, and right in the center is the Cyclone machine, challenging you to stop the light right in the bonus zone. Okay, so each animatronic is possessed by one of the murdered ghost children, right? But who's possessed Cupcake then? One of the most popular theories is that it's the dog of Susie, the ghost girl of Chica in the games, who was killed in Pizza Simulator and whose spirit probably ended up in Cupcake. And the way that it acts, biting its victim, kinda fits and is very reminiscent of a dog's behavior. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie takes place in the year 2000, with flashbacks to the 80s and 90s. In the movie itself, the exact date can be known, specifically April 6th. This is known thanks to one of the shots at the beginning of the movie, where Mike is waiting to meet with Steve Raglan. It is also known thanks to Mike's watch, which during one of the night shows at 6 a.m. on Tuesday, April 11th, 2000. The animatronics used for filming Five Nights at Freddy's were made with such care and realism that they seem to have a life of their own. Emma Tammy talked about this in an interview, explaining that each part of the animatronic was controlled by a different technician. So there was someone in charge of moving Freddy's eyes, another for his mouth, and another for his arms. During filming, one of Freddy's eyes moved on its own to one side, and at that moment, nobody had done anything. These involuntary movements were due to some errors in the internal functioning of the animatronics, making them seem alive. In fact, some of these improvised gestures were actually incorporated into the final footage, but filming a movie about animatronics possessed by ghost children that move in real life, I don't know about you, but I would have burned down that set real quick. For the movie cinema promotion, and after filming wrapped, the producer Blumhouse decided to give a second life to the Freddy Fazbear Pizza Place neon sign and placed it over a location on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. There was nothing inside, but from the outside, it looked like a restaurant with real animatronics. In addition to that, a Snapchat filter was also launched to make it seem like Freddy and company appeared in your house, something that was already possible with Five Nights at Freddy's special delivery. The fact that the book Mike is reading is called Dream Theory is not a coincidence. It's a nod to one of the most popular theories in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe, where it was believed that the plot of the first 4 games all took place in Mike's mind, as if it were all a dream. Over the years, this theory has been debunked, but it seems Scott Cawthon found it amusing enough to recall it in the movie. In addition to Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, Cupcake, and Golden Freddy, there are other animatronics that don't get as much screen time in the movie. First of all, there is Sparky, a nod to the fan-created dog Sparky for Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Then there's the huge doll with very dangerous springs. Her name is Ella, and her design is inspired by the doll of the same name that appeared as a toy in the Five Nights at Freddy's book, The Silver Eyes. Next to Sparky, you can see purple remains of an animatronic. Now, according to hints from the actress playing Max on Instagram, these are the remains of Shadow Freddy, an Easter egg from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Some say it's Mr. Hippo, but that has been ruled out. Lastly, there's Torture Freddy, a version of Freddy used by the animatronics to torture security guards. In the prize corner of the pizzeria, you can find real Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise. Most of the items distributed on the shelves and counter, like the plush toys of the characters or the masks of Freddy, Chica, Foxy, and Bonnie, are available for purchase in real life too. There are also toys not related to the characters, like dolls, crowns, fake shotguns, and even a ninja kit. The song Freddy and Company dance to when the Showtime button is pressed is titled Talking in Your Sleep by the New Romantics. The song is basically about dreams and how they hide our true desires, a reference to Mike and his fixation on discovering his brother's murderer in his dreams. But what's most interesting is the year this song came out, 1983, which coincidentally matches up with one of the most important events in the Five Nights at Freddy's saga, the Bite of 1983, an event where a child lost his life after being bitten in the head by the animatronic Fredbear. Then, to add even more layers, the movie itself nods to this moment with the scene where Max is cut in half after being bitten by Freddy. The role of the first night guard in Five Nights at Freddy's is played by Ryan Renicki, but it was originally assigned to YouTuber Markiplier, known for playing FNAF games and starring in the Five Nights at Freddy's special delivery ad. Unfortunately, he had to turn it down because he was directing the horror movie Iron Lung, based on the video game of the same name. Some YouTubers, like Daco and 8-Bit Ryan, were lucky enough to visit the Five Nights at Freddy's set. Besides taking lots of funny photos on the set, they immortalized their visit with a cameo as Employees of the Month. On one of the pizzeria's walls, you can see Razbowski, John Wolf, DJ Sturf, Baz, Daco, and 8-Bit Ryan. The music at the beginning of the movie's credits is titled Five Nights at Freddy's Song and belongs to the Living Tombstone. This song was composed in 2014 as a fan project and became so popular that it ended up negotiating its appearance in the movie around 2018. 5 years later, it appeared as the end credit song and reached number 71 on the world's top music videos on YouTube. If you still haven't gotten enough FNAF content, don't miss these videos here with even more hidden details that you should know. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on the upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.